everybody, this is Lindz Kinz, and welcome to another video on my channel. Today we're in The Sims 4 building a mall, and I'm really excited about this one. I've been thinking about this for quite a while. It's just been in my head, and I'm just really excited to finally be pursuing it. My initial idea for this was to make it a abandoned mall. And so what I'm doing is actually just making the basic shape and kind of planning it and thinking about what I want to do with it. And I'm actually going to make it a functioning mall full of stores and that sort of thing. And then I think what I want to do is live stream me deconstructing it and making it into an abandoned mall. If you guys are wondering why I picked an abandoned mall rather than a thriving one, I'm actually really obsessed and very interested in urban exploration and like abandoned places, kind of like, you know, not necessarily haunted, but kind of creepy areas. There's this YouTuber I watch who goes by the name of, his YouTube channel is This is Dan Bell, and I just think it's fascinating what he does. He'll travel to different places in America, and he just finds these abandoned places, whether it be a mall or a hotel, and he'll just like go in and he just walks around, and sometimes it's really creepy and sometimes there's just nothing of it, but it's still very interesting. And he puts this kind of like retro wave music to most of his videos, and it's just kind of fun. It kind of gives you this feeling of nostalgia, and it's almost kind of sad in a way because, you know, at one point, you know, like the 80s and 90s, these sort of places like malls were a really big thing, and they really helped boost the American economy. You would see like pop stars like Tiffany and like go sing at and perform at the places. And now malls are kind of like a thing of the past. A lot of people, you know, are switching to online shopping, and it's becoming sort of a dead thing now. So it's interesting. Like, you'll go to like places like Ohio and Columbus, and there's a mall there that was featured on a video game, or it was based off of that mall, and it looks really brand new, and like it's been renovated, and it's just empty, and there's nothing there, and it's abandoned, and there's mold everywhere. So it's really crazy that once it was thriving, and because of things like crime or just the recession in America, where that happened, I guess people just stopped shopping for a while, and so that's kind of why things died. And I just think it's kind of a really sad and melancholy thing, but I also find it really fascinating how things have really changed. You don't think about it in your everyday life, and then when you see something like that, it really hits home. You're like, oh wow, like things are really bad off right now. And that's not to say that things are really horrible in America. We still have a lot to be thankful for. I think that, you know, we're still living in a first world, which, I mean, is really cool, but it's just kind of crazy to see things like that and think about how it used to be. So that's just kind of the point I'm trying to make, and kind of explain my fascination with this kind of thing. And I am really obsessed with the 90s and the 80s. I was actually born in 1990, so I was like a year after the 80s. So I didn't really grow up in that time, but I really like the music and the style and stuff. It's just kind of like the feeling of that time. I hear really good things about it, and things are just kind of like a little bit more exciting back then. Like that's when video games first started, and technology was advancing, and it was just seemed like a very exciting time to be alive. So and I mean, things are advancing now even faster than we can think of, but I just think it was probably a really cool time because people were seeing things that they had never even dreamt of. Like, they had computers and stuff before, but they were huge. Like, they would fill up whole rooms. And then when the first, PC came out, it was like a huge deal. And then the Macintosh came out, and like that was a really big deal. So it's just kind of like to go back to that time and kind of think about how exciting it was and kind of how nostalgic it was. I really love all the cartoons from that time period. In America, we had some really, really great cartoons. I don't know if they viewed in your countries or not, but we had shows like Rocko's Modern Life. We had, we had Hey Arnold, which I personally think is like just the greatest cartoon of all time. It's just so heartfelt and has so much good content in it. There are a few episodes that made me cry, like the Christmas episode with one of the board mates. I can't remember who it was, but gosh, that episode, that hit you hard, and not a whole lot of cartoons have done that for me. I think the one that most recently has done that for me is probably Steven Universe. If you haven't checked it out, you need to. If you're in America, Steven Universe is on Cartoon Network, so you can probably easily find somebody who has that cable provider and watch it with them. You won't regret it, I promise you. It's an amazing show. And so I'm gonna stop rambling. I don't know if this is interesting to you. I really am fascinated with this kind of thing, and so I'm gonna talk more about the build right now. It took me a really long time to get the roof right. It's really difficult because the diagonal parts of the roof, the only thing that would really help me there were the triangle patterns. And I like to put these kind of platforms, I don't really know what you would call them, like sections of, like, on the roof, because if you don't, at least in my experience, if you don't put those on there, it is really, really difficult to put, like the decorative pieces on the side, like whenever you have walls up and everything like that. I can't explain it right now, really. Trying to, but can't really think of it. But if you play The Sims, The Sims 4, you probably understand what I mean. And right now we're trying to make like a balcony area and make several more of those holes in the ceiling. Just so, if you're shopping upstairs, you can actually just like look down and see other shoppers, yell down to your friend like, hey, come up here, and it's at this point I probably started thinking about how I wanted to make the exterior. And I think the day before I'd actually created a Pinterest board privately on like 80s retail spaces and malls and that sort of thing. And so I was kind of deciding if I wanted to have like a lot of windows or if I wanted it to have like wood paneling and that sort of thing. So when I left it, I still really didn't know what I was gonna do with that. So I think there's gonna be like a combination. Like this is a mall that has been renovated and they're trying to keep it open. So it probably used to be really like, I don't know what you would call it, like kind of run down, like wood paneling, the works. And they've made it pretty nice now. So there's a ton of restaurants downstairs. They're not actually workable or usable. You could probably make them that way, but I just put them there for looks because obviously this is just a retail space, so I feel like if you were to put too much, it might be overwhelming if you play this in your game. So a lot of the things I just place in there for looks, and I probably, honestly, when I make the stores, won't make them like for sale or anything like that. That'll have to be up to you how you want to do in your game. But I know from experience from making retail stores in the past in The Sims, I just kind of like, it gets really overwhelming pretty fast. Like a lot of people start coming in your store and even like the employees aren't very good and you're just like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do? People are leaving, people are getting so mad, so it's a little bit stressful, and I don't want to put that on you guys, because I care about you all. So, and it's weird because when I put certain rooms and stuff on the second floor, there was no roof automatically placed, and it's like, what did I do? So, I don't know. I really don't know what I did. But I kind of have to go through the process again of putting the roof in, and I cut some of it out. I don't know if I cut that part out or not. I think I actually cut out the most interesting part of my build, so I'm sorry about that. Actually, recalling now, my game was kind of slowing down when I was recording this. I used a recording program called Action, and hold on, I'm gonna take a sip of my tea. Okay, that's much better. I use a recording program called Action, and it records my desktop, so I'm able to record my game while I play. And it was really slowing it down. Like when I would put lights in, they wouldn't light up the area at first. Like it would take a long time for it to like turn on. So I was getting really frustrated, so I stopped recording for a bit. But then I pick it back up and it's fine for a while. I just I'm still getting over this cold. This is a horrible cold. I don't know where it came from either. I was traveling with my parents to see my grandparents halfway across the country, and we were in a car together, and my dad was sick, so I guess I just got sick from that. But it's just out of nowhere. We all thought it was like allergies, and I guess it was not. Because I'm sick, my mom is still sick, and my dad, he's over his cold, but that car was an incubator for viruses. It's kind of gross, but I had a good trip with them, so heck, I'll take that cold just to, have that road trip experience with my parents again. I hadn't done that with my mom and dad for like, it's been about, I would say 10 years since I've done that with both my mom and my dad. Now, I travel with my dad a few times, just me and him, to go visit his parents, my grandparents, but my mom worked for a while, and so she didn't get to go, and I'm actually married now, but my husband didn't get to go, which I was kind of unfortunate, but it was really kind of nice reliving that and, being a family again, and kind of a new phase of my life. So, yeah, I don't know. This build is getting introspective. I don't know if you guys like that or not, but sometimes I don't really like just talking about the builds because it gets kind of boring for me, at least. Hopefully not for you guys, because I want you guys to enjoy what you see, the content I put out. I don't have many subscribers, so if you wouldn't mind, just if you like this video, please subscribe, because I would like to get to know more people, and I just think it would be really awesome if you would subscribe to my channel. So yeah, finally got all the roofing on, putting another hole in the ground. And I think this is where it started to slow down and I was getting really frustrated. Because I can see I'm kind of like moving around. These are the things I was talking about. I feel like if you don't put a platform on the roof, or like in between levels, then you cannot get those things to like come out. They just won't work, and I really don't know why. It's never worked for me unless I put platforms. So I don't know if that makes any sense. Guess you have to play it to understand. Okay. Yeah, we're paused for quite a while here. I'm not sure what I was doing. I think I was looking up pictures. There we go. Yeah, I think that's what I was doing. I think I was Googling 1980s mall facades, which is a really weird thing to kind of Google, but it really helped a lot because I really didn't know where to go. I was just kind of looking at a blank canvas, which is really intimidating sometimes. So I ended up going with stone instead of wood, which is, I think it kind of looks a little bit nicer. I think it kind of went into the renovation, you know, if they once did a renovation. Another cool thing I did, and you'll see in a little bit, is I put in dance floor, like the glass dance floor, and where they updated the game to like have a better lighting engine, it just looks fantastic. Like before you couldn't see through the dance floor, but now you can, and it's beautiful. I'm just really, like, I'm really impressed with like what updates have happened recently. I think they've been really good updates. Very necessary. And I think I'm getting ready to actually stop recording in a second. Can't remember. Yeah, I had a lot of trouble because where everything was running slow, I couldn't get the triangle tiles to work, and then I couldn't get the square tiles to come back, and it was just very frustrating to me. Oh, I think I was just getting really frustrated. I think I took a break for a little bit and then came back to it. Sometimes you have to do that, whether it be in The Sims or if you're an artist, especially if you've been looking at it for too long, you're gonna start criticizing everything you've done. So my rule of thumb is to take a break, take a 15-minute break, stop looking at it, and come back to it whenever you're rested, you've had a snack, or you've gone to the bathroom, you know. Come back to it when you haven't, like, looked at it for a while. So this is sort of my rule of thumb. And I think any artist would tell you that. Sometimes we're our own worst critics, and you can't base things off of something when you've looked at it for way too long. Okay, yeah. I'm still definitely getting over this cold. Sorry, guys. And I think my problem was I was getting really frustrated because I was just looking at it, and his computer was slowing down, and it just wasn't doing what I wanted it to, so I just have to come back to it. Yes, this is where I stopped, and you can see I've came back, did some exterior, and then started recording again when I was not frustrated. So that's gonna be like a pretty pink boutique with really fancy clothes in it. Who knows what that says in Simlish, that sign. But I thought I put some of the storefronts on the outside and inside, and then I put some staircases inside the stores, so you would have more than one staircase. These lights were kind of frustrating because I could not get them to like hit the ceiling, and I couldn't see what I was doing, so that was kind of frustrating. But eventually I get there. So yeah. I just kind of had to like look at the ground and at the grid where I was putting things. I'm doing some of the outdoor lighting, and that thing on the left is actually going to be a cafe or like a Starbucks sort of thing. And I want to put some like outdoor seating with like some umbrellas and that sort of thing. And we put like some plants. So yeah. And some more lighting. And here we are on the inside, and I think that's where I start to work on the food court. I'm not sure. I think I was kind of playing around with the idea of putting windows inside, but I was like, no, that doesn't look right. And I still might put it in, but we'll see. Here we are putting in the dance floors, which look so nice. You'll see it here in a minute. See that? That looks beautiful. I was like, oh wow. I was totally nerding out on that, or geeking out. And here I'm putting in like the food court sign, and I put like the signage like that looks like, oh yeah, you can shop at the mall, you can have coffee at the mall, and all these different things. So it's kind of what I'm doing there. But I think I'd put that in later. I think now we're working on the really nice fountain. Oh, and I'm thinking I probably will not put screenshots in at the end. I think I really want to do that. I think I want to have a video showcasing the mall, but I don't think I'm gonna put screenshots at the end because it's already so long. I just think it would be kind of overwhelming. And I would have to go in and actually have Sims like go in the mall, and it's just not ready yet, you know? It's not complete. So I'm not gonna do that. But I will have to pay attention to when the video ends for sure. Which I have about 6 minutes left. And I thought I made it like blue concrete, I think, because I don't know if you've ever been into a mall where they have the fountains and it has like the blue lining in it. That's kind of where my thought process was going with that. And I put some palm trees in, like little baby palm trees. Then I start sizing up rocks, and I kind of like how they're the same color as that fountain in the middle, so it kind of makes it look like a bit more natural. I know one of the malls that Dan Bell visited had a beautiful fountain, and it was so sad because it was next to an old Macy's that had left, which is a big deal because Macy's is like top notch, and you know, when they're your anchor store and you're not getting enough business for Macy's to be in there, you know, you have an issue with your mall, and it's really sad, but I'll get into that another day. But the fountain, it was so beautiful. I think it was made by this artist that came in and did it for them, and it had like an elephant and a little boy on top of the elephant, and like the trunk had water coming out of it. It was really pretty, and it was really sad because, you know, nobody was there to see it. So yeah, just kind of take care of the area you live in. Like, you know, we don't want any more violence in our communities or gangs and that sort of thing. It's just, I just wish we lived in a time where we could take care of things again and it could be thriving and really nice. I know my community used to be really thriving, like in the 60s and the 50s. I know there was a lot of steel industry and that sort of thing, but it all died, and so we're really having to fight for our economy to get it back, and it's kind of rough. So I just really urge people to really take care of their communities. Try to shop locally if you can. Like, if there's a local business, try to shop there over like Walmart or Target. Heck, I love Target too, but I would prefer to shop at a local boutique any day over Target if I can afford it. So that's just my 2 cents. Just take care of your communities. Make it a safe environment for the children and the future of the world, So, yeah, we are finally working on that food court. I think this is supposed to look like a pizza place, or a place, you get hot dogs or something. I wanted to make one that looked like those cookie shops or like a pretzel shop, but it's kind of hard to do that without the proper signage. So I just do the best I can and try to make kind of cute looking storefronts and that sort of thing. The weird thing about abandoned malls is sometimes the food courts are still intact. I know there's one around us, and it's really strange because it has like a public library and a school, a church, and like a movie theater, and one food court restaurant open. So it doesn't have any like, anchor stores or anything like that. The Sears left like 2 years ago, and it's just a really strange thing, which I'm really glad the community kind of took over and is making it still a good environment for people and getting families involved in that, and a safe place for the children. So that's really nice, but it's just really weird. Like, when you go to a mall, you don't expect to see those things, so it's just kind of strange. And I'm actually coming to the end of it. I do this as like a frozen yogurt shop, and then I actually kind of put like paintings on the bottom of it because I didn't like any of the paneling for what I was kind of trying to go for. So yeah, I keep looking and looking, but I just don't see anything, and I really wanted there to be like something extra on the bottom, so that's what I end up doing. I put that abstract painting you'll see here in a second, and that bright neon sign. This has been a really good video. I really enjoyed this. It's kind of therapeutic for myself. And like I said, please subscribe to my channel. It would mean a whole lot if you guys wanted to see more. I enjoy making these videos, and I just don't want them to go in vain, and I'm learning a lot, but I would just really love it if I had a following and I could meet more people, and like, just keep doing this. So anyway, you guys have a really wonderful day. Stay inspired or simspired, and feel free to look at my other builds and put them in your game. This one's not available yet, but it will be, I promise. I'm gonna keep working on it. It'll probably be a long time before it's out, but just be patient and stay tuned for more videos, and you guys have a wonderful week. Thank you guys so much. Bye.